Yields back. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Doggett, for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very troubling time in American history. Our national security is endangered. The very future of our democracy is at stake. And without the continued engagement of millions of people across this country, this troubling time could become much worse. There's an old adage, loose lips sink ships. But it is also true that when it comes to abuse of presidential power, sealed lips can sink a democracy. We've gone through a period where it would appear that some of our Republican colleagues are in a witness protection program because they've been unable to come forward with any words to comment on the continued abuse of power that we see played out each day, with one being more incredible than the one before. All United States intelligence services agree that the Russians interfered in our last election. Russia deserves sanctions, not secrets, not rewards. This is a president of the United States that invited Putin's gang right into the Oval Office. We don't know what they left behind to listen to the rest of the conversations, although they may not need to learn them surreptitiously since President Trump, in such a cavalier way, proceeded to share secrets with them. At long last, we wonder what will awaken these Republicans from their partisan stupor, because we need them to speak out as well. Last night, we learned that Trump asked the FBI Director, James Comey, before firing him, to drop the investigation into National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, whom Trump had been advised before he fired him that he was subject to being compromised by the FBI, by the Russians in his operations. Our Republican colleagues need to decide whether they want to be accessories to Trump's obstruction of justice as he continues to endanger our national security. Trump's firing of Director Comey is a shocking example of incredible duplicity that threatens the very fabric of the future of American democracy. It is a Nixonian dismissal that is designed to obstruct further inquiry into collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. Trump even said himself during his NBC interview with Lester Holt that, quote, regardless of the recommendation from the Department of Justice, he was prepared and planning to fire the FBI director because of what he was doing with the Russia investigation. And that's part of a pattern, having fired the U.S. Attorney in New York City, having fired Sally Yates, the Deputy Attorney General, and then Mr. Comey. If you are perceived as crossing the line with President Trump, it's like an episode out of that old TV series, The Apprentice, you're fired. But this is not make-believe. This is the future of American democracy. With every day, we hear new cover-up evidence. What could possibly explain the continued Republican silence, the callous indifference? Well, Trump is the Republicans' golden ticket to denying health care coverage to 24 million Americans, and at the same time showering already with a bill passed in this House almost $1 trillion of tax breaks to the super rich and a handful of special interests. He's their winning ticket to awarding multinational tax dodgers more tax breaks while blowing a hole in the deficit that can change Medicare and Social Security forever. Trump reportedly told Comey, I hope you can let this go. Well, my fellow Americans, Comey could not let it go, and now he's gone. We cannot let this go. This is not business as usual. This is not just more tax breaks for the super rich, as Republicans are urging in a hearing tomorrow in this House. We cannot let this go. History will be unkind to those who could not find their voice at this critical time in American history. I say it's time to truly put America first, reject Putin, reject partisanship, help restore confidence in our democracy by supporting an independent special counsel and the type of independent, nonpartisan, non-political inquiry that I have been calling for since last November into this Russian interference. Too much is at stake to remain silent. We must join together to address this challenge to our future. I yield back.
The gentleman's time has expired. Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities towards the President. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Fitzpatrick, for 5 minutes.